Tonight on ESPN's Thursday Night Hockey. The St. Louis Blues are showing the signs of a team planning for a deep postseason run. Their offensive weapons have delivered with the consistency a potential champion has to have. And goaltender Chris Osgood is performing as well as he ever has. A stabilizing backbone in net, hungry to prove his play is among the game's elite. The San Jose Sharks, down early on, are now authoring a success story of their own. This is Savvis Center in St. Louis, Missouri. Tonight, ESPN's Thursday Night Hockey has the Sharks in town to take on the Blues. Hi, everybody, and good evening. With Darren Pang, I'm Steve Levy. No team in the NHL is playing better than the Blues, and St. Louis will be even better tonight. Doug Weight, late word, will play.
Well, that obviously makes them better. They're on pace right now for a surprise, 118 points. That would be the most ever for the St. Louis Blues. They've been tremendous. Now, with Doug Weight back in the lineup, it also helps Keith Tkachuk, but he has been their most valuable forward without a doubt. He's got 6 goals in his last 10 games, 5 game-winning goals. He's done it all.
Schedule maker not doing the San Jose Sharks any favors. Last night they were 19 seconds away from a win in Detroit. Instead they lost in overtime. We'll learn about them tonight.
There's not a team in the NHL that's flying under the radar successfully like this very young San Jose Sharks club. Gone is Owen Nolan and Teemu Selanne and Adam Graves. This young core of forwards are their future. Alan McCauley came in the Owen Nolan deal. The tandem of Patrick Marleau and Sturm are 2 of the fastest players in the NHL, and they play on the same line.
The Sharks have gotten points now in 19 of their last 22 games. And up next, we'll talk to 2 core guys, Mike Ricci of San Jose and Chris Pronger of the Blues. All coming up on ESPN's Thursday Night Hockey. Tonight, on a windy and cold night in St. Louis, it's ESPN's Thursday Night Hockey. And we welcome you inside the Savvis Center. The San Jose Sharks have taken the ice, all of them except for one player, and he's standing by with Darren Pang.
Steve, with Mike Ricci here, you lost a tight one last night. It's a tough building to win in Detroit. How tough is it, or is it easier to come back the next night and play a tough opponent in St. Louis?
Well, obviously it's a tough opponent. It's not going to be any easier for us, but we got to realize we got 1 point, and the way to make that 1 point look good is if we get 2 tonight, make it 3 out of 4.
Mike, you've been a veteran player on this team, and it seems to me like there's a younger core of players. Tell us about the San Jose Sharks.
Well, we got some young guys stepping up, and Patty, Marco, and guys like that have been working hard for a lot of years, and now they're starting to get some more reward, and it's been nice to see them grow.
When you get your haircut, save some for me. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Back over to you, Steve.
Yeah, I thought you guys had an awful lot in common, Panger. Thanks. I'm here with Chris Pronger. Chris, you guys are humming along, second best start in franchise history, but you know it's December and not April. What does this great start mean to you?
Well, really it just puts us in position. We're still trying to catch Detroit with a lot of games in hand still, so we need to go win those games, and this is one of them.
A lot of people are singing your praises that you're back to Chris Pronger Norris Trophy candidate. Where are you in relation to where you were?
I feel pretty good. I think I'm back to where I was before I got injured, and feeling pretty good. We're obviously, as you said, off to a great start, and we got more than just me playing well right now, so that's great to see.
Speaking of injuries, only the Kings have lost more man games than you guys have, and when you look at the injuries to who they've happened to, especially 2 of your star defensemen, Jackman and McInnes, how you doing this?
Well, you know what? It's a total team effort, and that's the beauty of hockey, is that whether it's your star going down or what have you, you got a chance to win because of the chemistry within the locker room and whatnot. And we've got a great group of guys, and it seems like every night it's somebody new coming up with the game-winning goals.
Good luck tonight. Thanks.
Thank you.
That's Chris Pronger of the St. Louis Blues. Of course, if he ever makes a rare mistake, he's got somebody behind him. Chris Osgood's playing outstanding, and Patrick Marleau has been flat out great the last 2 months. Chase it. Finley shoots it across. Able to connect with Mike Danton at center. Takes a bump and shoots in. Vesa Toskala gets the start in goal tonight for San Jose. After Evgeny Nabokov was in goal last night. Again, 19 seconds away from what would have been an ecstatic Sharks team after a win, but could not complete the deal.
And I'm sure that Nabokov thought that Datsuk was going to go high glove on the game-tying goal. So let's go to last night's action at Joe Louis Arena, a place that it has been very difficult, to say the least, for the San Jose Sharks to win hockey games. They've only won 4 times there. That's the shot by Datsuk in the final 30 seconds of action. Then in overtime, Zetterberg, who had 3 points, dished it to the one-timer of Brendan Shanahan, somewhat of a Shark killer, and he fires it over the goaltender Nabokov. They think they've got 2 points wrapped up. Not to mention the relevance here is St. Louis players were watching at home thinking that they had 2 points wrapped up, that Detroit weren't going to get in there. Because ultimately that's the battle atop the division. The Central Division is Detroit and St. Louis.
Tkachuk forced the turnover, trying to feather it across to Dimitra. That didn't work out, and the Sharks try to come back the other way. Here's Patrick Marleau with a step in the corner, away from Pronger. Shoots it all the way around. Just went too far from Dimitrakos. And the Blues trying to make the move in now. Try to give and go. Mellenby couldn't get a stick on it. Mellenby is tied up, whacked at by Marleau. Loose puck. Havanov trying to pinch. Damphou's trying to get there ahead of the play and cannot. And Christian Backman is there for St. Louis. Oh, it looked like it hit off a skate at the Blues bench. Very close to too many men on the ice.
Yeah, Dimitra had 1 skate already on the bench. And then the last one looked like it got the, you're right, got the tail end of the blade of his stick. Skate. Oh.
Here's Waite now shifting. Again, late word coming from the Blues locker room. It was a game time decision. Took the morning skate. Tip shot stopped by Toskala, and he's in the hockey game.
One thing Doug Waite has to make sure, Steve, is that he's 100% ready. A lot of guys have come back too early from groin injuries. Ends up being weeks and weeks and weeks.
Didn't play on Tuesday night. Oh, stopped by Toskala. Rebound stopped by Toskala as well.
Now is Eric Nicholas right on the doorstep there, and Toskala is very calm goaltender in that net. He's not the biggest guy. He's right around 5'9.5", 5'10", but he's got tremendous calmness, and I think that really helps the players in front of him. They know that he's not going to get rattled in there. That was a good save.
Toskala's numbers in December, 1-1-1, a 1.60 goals against, and a save percentage just sparkling .950.
That means he's stopping 95% of the shots that come his way, and Steve, that's pretty darn good.
Just cleared up save percentage there. In a matter of moments.
You like that?
Now if you can work on the 4 columns in the standings.
I can't help you there.
Here's a chance. Johnson's shot was blocked. Turnaround shot is deflected and kicks to the corner as well.
You can see one team, St. Louis, wants to get pucks on net. They want to see how much will San Jose has early in the game because of the Sharks losing so dramatically last night in St. Louis. It's always good advice. When you put pressure, pucks on net, teams start running around, so I'm sure that's what St. Louis was talking about before this game.
Well, I mentioned the Open will learn something about San Jose, see how they respond, see how they rebound. We already learned something about them today with an optional skate. Just about every single Shark is there after playing last night. You don't see that on a lot of NHL clubs.
No, you're right about that. They're hungry. They're having fun together.
Havanov's wrister through traffic. Toskala was out at the top of his crease and able to hang on.
And Dallas Drake is always sporting something on that face. He's got a little bruise, a little yellowing on that right side. Here's the shot. Here's the redirect. What a great tip that was in front of the net. Drake in front of the net, getting himself in good position on Ehrhoff, who happened to be on the ice for the game winner in overtime that Shanahan scored. He's a fine young defenseman offensively. There he's learning the game in terms of where to be defensively and how to put yourself in the right position. Good hand-eye coordination by Drake.
Ehrhoff spoke like a veteran, though, after the game. He took full blame, took full heat, totally my fault, and I think the veteran guys on the team would appreciate that. And the far referee makes a call. Saw a couple of indications. Slash and maybe a hole in the stick, and some players have words as well. It's Mike Danton, who seems to be involved with just about every opponent the Blues play, and Scott Thornton's going to go for San Jose.
San Jose, 2 minutes cross-checking. 22 for St. Louis, 2 minutes sloshing.
Van Massenhoven, by the way, was the referee last night in Detroit for the Sharks game. Well, he did not make the pivotal call late.
Left side, there's the cross-check, and there's the, let's see where Cole Danton is right. He's just had a stick in the midsection, actually, but he might have given him something, but not in that particular look. He just had a stick around the midsection. What I was thinking at first is that Thornton's been battling a bad hand. And a lot of times, this is why I don't like disclosing injuries, is because I was picturing in my mind that Danton gave him a little whack, he gave him a cross-check, and but that didn't seem to be the way it went. It looked to me like Thornton is trying to go into the shooting lane and got him the heck out of the way.
Got the whistle, touched with a high stick. Hey, Sunday, this is a real good matchup for you.
You bet.
The Flyers and the Thrashers. You know about Jeremy Roenick and Tony Amonte and the Flyers, but if you haven't seen Ilya Kovalchuk yet, among the leading scorers in the NHL. The NHL on ESPN2 Sunday night. The game followed by NHL tonight. And those of you in Atlanta will see the action only on ESPN2.
You want a great story around the NHL. It's been the heart and the will and the desire of the Atlanta Thrashers. And throw in that, their best player not there. Kovalchuk steps up to be their best player. How good is that?
Wow, Toskala seemed to have some trouble with that. A long shot and made the save. It's Marlowe the other way. Leaves for Marco Sturm. Sturm holding and tried to get Osgood out of position. And Osgood wasn't buying it. And Osgood makes his first save. He's in the game. Oh, stick save right there by Osgood and off the netting. As Mike Rathje let it fly. Down at the other end on the Toskala save.
Yes.
Is he unsure of where what body part he wants to stop it with?
Good possibility, or he might have lost sight of it as it left the stick, and that often happens as well. And when you do that, there's a little lunging motion, and that's what we saw with Toskala. And it's a long shot. There's a defenseman there, little screen. It might have hit the stick first and got him off guard. Maybe he was expecting it low, then it comes up high.
Osgood just stopped that one up high. Turnaround shot is stopped by Osgood as well.
So to finish on that, Steve, you've just got to get whatever you can in front of it and make sure. And in that case, it's the biggest part of his equipment. It's his belly pad.
Here's Waite, makes the move. They're onside. Tries to go across. Wide open, quick shot, and a save. Chyanek just fired the laser. Looked like the lane just opened right up for him. And able to get the shot away. Seen some good goaltending early on. High quality shots.
That was a tremendous pass by Doug Waite. You talked about the skill of sending a saucer pass 40 feet. It was right on the tape.
Bryce Salvador will get to it for St. Louis. And dump it down. We're still 4-on-4 for another 5 seconds. There's Chyanek. He'll shoot it across, and the Blues look to make something happen. Thornton out of the box, nearly stepped into him, but missed somehow. And here's Chyanek looking for the tip to Danton. Out of the penalty box, and it's deflected out of play.
Already Doug Waite coming back into the lineup, paying dividends. A moment ago, we saw Doug Waite set up that perfect pass over to the far side. And now they continue some momentum here. Chyanek, number 26, pulling back in a similar spot that Doug Waite just was, but this time he puts it on net. Danton can't get there. Now, if we stop this here, Doug Waite's looking reverse here. Everybody else is looking this way. Watch where he goes. Tremendous pass by Dougie Waite, right on the tape. And an excellent scoring chance there, and a great save by Toskala. Chyanek had that one as well.
These are two strong first period teams. That's already evident tonight here in the first 6.5 minutes of this one. Shot, never made it on goal. Ryan Johnson gets to it. Back behind the net, the Blues working it with Eric Nicholas. A shove check there inside the San Jose end. Kept in by Backman. Takes a big crunch off the end boards. Wrapped around by Dimitrakos, and out of the zone come the Sharks. Although excellent back checking by St. Louis allows Dallas Drake to take away, but then he turns it over. Here are the Sharks now, shot from the angle. Off the glove of Osgood, and McCarron came right out front.
That might have him. That was Nils Ekman. Boy, does he have a good shot. This Swede has been a tremendous player for them. That might have even hit the outside of the crossbar on the short side. For a left-hand shot to shoot it on that angle, that's a tremendous amount of confidence. And they seem to want to go up high over there on Osgood.
Here's Dimitro with a step. Dimitro, right pad, save of the rebound, score! It's Doug Waite on Scott Mellanby on the rebound. 1-0 Blues.
The theme around the NHL is if you're going to score goals, you're going to pay the price, you're going to go to the net for rebounds. And boy, our team's putting traffic on the goaltender. Dimitri's shot, rebound there, and not stopping was Mellanby, and that's why he was falling down. He's a right-hand shot, he's coming into your pitcher, he's falling down, he gets the one stick on it before a Shark player can get to him. Toskala had made a tremendous first save with his right pad, but what a second effort by Mellanby, just outstanding.
It's been almost a month between goals for Scott Mellanby. He'd gone 11 games without scoring a goal.
And there's from our Southwest Airlines goal cam, and Toskala has no chance because he's leaning towards his left where he made the save. He's needing some help, and he just doesn't get it defensively. The San Jose Sharks, Steve, as soon as they come back to their own zone, they are collapsing down low. The forwards, the centermen, that everybody goes towards the slot, and therefore the point positions can be left open, but there they just weren't quick enough to collapse down low on Scott Mellanby.
As you saw, to be Mellanby's third again, and not scored a goal since November 19th at Phoenix. And here are the Sharks looking to get it right back. Tremendous block down by Havanoff. Prevented the pass from coming across. Hanger, I don't know if it's me or not, but I haven't said Chris Pronger's name yet tonight.
And he's there on the bench.
Scott Mellanby has the Blues on the board. 1-0 St. Louis.
It all starts with a setup by Pronger. What a tremendous 60-foot pass right to Tkachuk. Good speed now through the neutral zone with Dimitra. Now keep your eye on the left side of your screen because Mellanby's driving hard. And there he is. There's 4 white jerseys around, but yet Mellanby's able to sniff out the puck and get it on the back end and in.
Mellanby gets the goal, his third. Dimitra and Tkachuk get the helpers at 7:07. Pronger really deserved an assist, too, for making that great outlet pass. 1-0 in favor of the Blues. And they come right back. Here's Mellanby. Drop for Dimitra. Rockets one wide on the stick side of Toskala. Loose puck rolling through everybody. And the Sharks able to recover. On the far side, Ehrhoff is pinned up along the boards. The Blues able to get possession. There's Chris Pronger. Just so surprised not to see him on the ice because that's what everybody's been saying. He's taking his usual minutes. He's really playing like Chris Pronger of his Norris Trophy days, and it's whistled down offside at the San Jose line.
Well, when you look at their line combinations, too, when you see Keith Tkachuk has got Dimitra at center ice, and there have been times in the last little while that Mellanby has not been on that top line. Harima's been on that line, and they mix and match, and Nicholas can get up there and what have you, and same with Rycroft. But the constant has been Dimitra and Tkachuk. No matter what, whether there's a Johnson in the middle and Dimitra goes to the wing, Joel Quenneville always has them as a tag team. They've always got them as a twosome.
And let's see, going to take it outside the zone. 8-game point scoring streak now for Keith Tkachuk on that assist.
Pretty good goaltending so far, huh? So Tkachuk's going to see a lot of Toskala. He knows that. As far as Osgood's concerned, Steve, he's gotten off to a tremendous start here, I think. A couple of saves to the inside of his stick. Trying to go high, they missed, but he was there. A couple down low where he got the paddle down. He's playing like an all-star this year, and I'm not exaggerating that. He's going to get some recognition, and well, he should, to be an all-star goaltender in Minnesota.
Some of the numbers came out. Todd Bertuzzi and Marcus Naslund of Vancouver ranked 1-2 in terms of votes. And a penalty coming up. I think Hannon was spilled, and Van Massenhoven is going to make the call.
Yeah, it's going to be on Drake in the corner. He and McCauley were down there. It's going to be a hooking call, and Drake's sour. So it tells me that there's a possibility, before seeing it, that his stick was in the midsection of McCauley. Or here's Hannon going around, so he hooks him up. Okay, it's McCauley that fell afterwards. McCauley's going to come into the picture. That's why I was lost on that. You said Hannon originally. I should have caught that, huh? So, but he had it in the midsection. It looked like he kind of spun him, huh? Corkscrewed him.
Yep.
So around the hands, and then with that, the lodging of the stick causes Hannon to go down.
And Drake gets the hooking call at 8:46. First power play of the night goes to the San Jose Sharks. Rattles around the boards and back to the point, and that's where Brad Stewart is. And they try to work it down low now to McCauley. It's broken up. Blues get to it, and they're able to clear down the ice. St. Louis has the #1 penalty killing in the NHL on home ice.
They do, and they're going up against the 4th best road power play in the entire National Hockey League. So this should be a good battle. That's all. There's always a great deal of pride going into this matchup.
Blues have killed off 33 of their last 35 power play opportunities by the opponent. Here's Vincent Damphus now behind the net. Pronger chasing him. Oh, centering feed, and McCauley couldn't tee it up. He's checked off the play. Rolls back to the point. Ehrhoff never got to him. Now he'll get a second chance at it. Off for Danfus, inside the circle. Center right off the pipe. It was fired off the pipe by Nils Ekman.
What a shot. Two glorious chances. One, Ekman had the shot. The other, he set up McCauley, who fanned on the shot right at the bottom of the face-off circle.
Here's Marleau at center. Just missed Sturm. It couldn't knock the pass down out of midair. Salvador gets to it. And the reach for by Pricing. Race for the puck. Toskala has to come way out to clear it away. And it's a two-line pass. Jamal Mayer showed the great speed in racing for it, and Toskala had a decision to make.
We got some great skaters in this game here on Thursday night. But Chris Osgood ends up having a shot go right over the shoulder and off the crossbar and out of play. And what a shot it was, too. What a shot. Here's a setup. Danfus, Ekman, bang, right off the bar. Osgood's looking around. He heard the sound, knew it got by him, and the hope is that it's not in the net. The hope is that it hit the crossbar and went high, and that's exactly what happened. Power play of San Jose looks good, doesn't it?
Yes,
great
it does.
puck movement.
Only 5 seconds left. Turned over at the blue line. Here's a move and the save. Steve Martins got the shot away. Martins just caught up. Yes. Oh, and down straight. Coming out of the penalty box. Just flattened Dimitrakos for the Sharks. And that has woken this crowd up even more than the goal by Mellenby.
Whoa, what a hit. You don't see that very often at open ice.
Dimitrakos obviously didn't see him coming out of the penalty box.
Dimitrakos, head down. Dallas Drake looking for a body and not the puck. Look out! What a hit that was.
Before, he got his money worth here.
Listen in. Oh! Man. It's a big Suburban going right at you.
And no penalty called, and there shouldn't be.
No, it's a good hit right there. Very good hit. The Somerville, Massachusetts native taking it on the chin right there. He's already sporting the two fairly darkish eyes.
Those Boston kids are tough. Bounces right back up.
They are. That's for darn sure.
Back in the game.
Yeah, no argument, no whining. Just got himself right back up.
Here's Tkachuk. Speaking of tough, hard-nosed Massachusetts-born players, here's a chance. Tkachuk in. Big save. Toskala. And the rebound in the corner. Wow, the Blues have been outstanding offensively here. And Toskala has really held the Sharks in early.
How about Tkachuk, though, the way he just drives to that net? I mean, he doesn't stop. He shoots, and if he doesn't score, he's gonna take the goalie with him.
Ricci took his arm off his stick, and he's gonna go.
Holding calling a battle in the corner. Ricci is the one that ends up on one knee. Let's listen in.
San Jose penalty, 2 minutes for holding. Ricci.
Mike Ricci gets the call, and another power play coming up. He's trying to hop over him at first. When he lunged over him, I think that was much more harmless than what it looked. In fact, he was just trying to get out of the way, but at the same time, timing's everything. As Beckman ended up falling down at the same time, I really don't think that Ricci actually held him down, but his arm was already let go of the stick, and you're right, that's the dictator right there.
And to me, you take the referee out of the equation. You take your hand off the stick.
Yeah.
And
it's not like it was. There's really no gray area there. You know, it's going to be called.
And so the Blues go to the power play now. Already with a 1-0 lead. Toskala will swing it around. It's knocked down by Waite. Waite will get it back. Softly in front. Quick shot is blocked. That was an interesting little soft shot. And I'm not sure it made it on goal, Panger.
No, it wasn't. I was wondering if maybe Trianic called for it, or maybe a player on San Jose was tapping the stick or letting him know, because Nicholas clearly thought he had an open lane to pass the puck to Trianic.
And the defenseman able to make the play with his stick along the ice. Never made it through. Under a minute left in this man advantage. Slap down the boards. Waite nearly kept in. If the Sharks can get through it, they can. Here's a chance. Sturm, shorthanded, backhand, save by Osgood.
That's a key save right there. You want to regain momentum when you have a power play, and for San Jose, that would have been just enormous. Just enormous to score a shorty. What an effort by McCauley. He knows that Sturm's going to be there. He knows he just has to lead him. Sturm had to wait because Pronger was going down with that big long stick of his, and Pronger ends up diving. Sturm hangs onto it,
And he's trying to go, I think on the backhand, he must have been trying to go between the legs.
40 seconds left in the man advantage. Play inside the San Jose zone. Dimitra put it up the board to the point, nobody was home. Christian Backman will go back for it now. Havanov on it for St. Louis. Havanov today became the first Russian player in NHL history to call you Panger.
Oh, I love it. And he got a Thursday night hat for it, too.
Hey, listen to you young Russian hockey players out there. If you see Darren, call him Panger.
You got it.
Win an ESPN hat. Here's Tkachuk in across the line. He just looks so confident, more confident than normal, Tkachuk does. Havanov let it go, and through heavy traffic, Toskala the save, and he'll hang on. Tune in tomorrow night for an NBA doubleheader on ESPN. At 7:30 Eastern, it's Kia NBA Shoot-Around. Then at 8 Eastern, Ben Wallace and the Pistons beat Jermaine O'Neal and the Pacers. And in the nightcap, the Spurs, Tim Duncan, and the Supersonics, Rashard Lewis and Ray Allen. NBA Fridays here on ESPN. Face-off won by the Sharks. Brad Stewart trying to swing it around. Danton is bumped by Stewart there. Heavy hit in the corner for the Sharks by Wayne Primo. And because of it, San Jose is able to get out. Thornton shoots in, looking for some help. Here's Chichu behind the net. Jonathan Chichu, loose puck. Here's a chance, Thornton. It was deflected over the net and wide. Salvador for the Blues, bumped by Chichu, and he'll shoot down. Like it went into the Blues bench, knocked one of the gloves onto the ice. There's our goal score. To this point, 1-0 Blues. Where do you want to send your faithful announcers, Levy and Panger? Boston, might it be Chicago, might it be St. Louis or Philadelphia? We've had over 7,200 votes so far. We'll update it for you. The deadline for voting, which game you want to see, is December the 28th.
Wow. Mixed emotions there. We could go to your hometown right now, Boston, or we could go to Chicago.
Actually,
two pretty good cities.
I'm sorry, I messed that part up, Hager. It's Chicago and St. Louis.
Like I said, we could see Chicago playing St. Louis. Great rivalry, but Boston is Cam Neely sweater retirement night.
That'd be a pretty good night to be at the Fleet Center in Boston.
There's nothing like seeing Seabass on Dumb and Dumber.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Get his jersey retired.
Have you checked out Stuck on You yet?
Not yet. I can't wait, though. My son saw it yesterday.
Some good hockey scenes there. Here's Chichu and across the line, and he hits the post! Second post behind Chris Osgood. Chichu from close quarters, able to bang one on the post.
What an effort from the Moose Factory, Ontario native. Chichu never stops working, and that's where he gets the majority of his chances.
Here's Tkachuk, get across the line, leaves for Dimitra. Tyler behind the back pass, a little too fancy that time. And the Sharks trying to break back the other way. Alan McCauley wearing the C on the San Jose sweater. He's the third different captain this season as Ron Wilson rotates captains.
10-game segments. Interesting.
Ricci and Damphus have already served their time. Their turn, if you will. Osgood, the easy stick save, and put it right in the middle for the Blues. Little transition game. Here's Dimitra. Dropped it off, but Cheyenne got it through to Tkachuk. What a first period for Keith Tkachuk. One of the few players not to skate today for St. Louis, along with Waite and Dallas Drake. All three in the lineup tonight when it counts for game time. Havanov thought about it with Marlowe waiting for him. He decided against it. Moved away at center. And here come the Blues now. Nicholas led the charge. Stern deep in his own end, away from Waite. Worked up the near side, and there's Marlowe. He turns it over. Eric Nicholas trying to make the move. Nicholas softly to the front of the net. Waite couldn't get there. He was cut off by Kyle McLaren. And it's sent down the length of the ice. Haven't had a lot of icing calls. Here we have one now, and here's John Butchergrouse.
Thank you, Steve. This year's Minnesota Wild, perhaps the Calgary Flames, off to a great start. 6 in the West. Look at Dean McCammon blow one by Andrew Raycroft, who's allowed 5 goals tonight. 5-0 Calgary after 40.
ESPN, NHL.com. Score Stats, Fantasy, and the official store of the NHL. NHL.com. If it's hockey, it's here.
First time in a long time that I can remember Andrew Raycroft giving up more than a couple of goals.
Was that 5-0
Yeah.
Calgary? Wow.
Yeah.
Which is more surprising? And Calgary's been playing great hockey.
They are unbelievable.
Went into Philadelphia the other night, won a game. To have a 5-0 lead in Boston. Does that say more about the Flames or more about the Bruins?
No, I think it says a lot more about the Flames right now.
Here's Stewart, shot, stopped by Osgood. Sturm, able to get it. Finds Alexander Korolev. Havenoff comes over to take it away. And it's cleared out the center. This will go all the way down. Sure, just seconds after I say we've had hardly any icings. We get 2 in a row.
Well, Jonathan Chichu played 16.5 minutes last night, and he's going to surpass all of last year's totals already this year. So he's been tremendous for them, and he just ripped one off the pipe. Right-hand shot, got control of it, tried to go high to the short side, and Osgood went down in the butterfly because the defenseman's going down, so you know the shot's not going to be low. And it's no secret that San Jose is trying to go high to the glove side on Chris Osgood. They've hit 2 pipes so far.
Back behind the net now. There's Ricci. His ice time has been cut dramatically. Dropped down to the 4th line. Scott Parker out there on the ice.
Yeah, he's been averaging 16 minutes, but he only played 8.5.
Yep.
8.5 minutes last night.
Race for the puck, and icing is called. Mayers forced the issue a little bit.
I mean, Ricci's been a guy that it wasn't 2 years ago that I thought he should have won the Selke Award. I mean, playing with Thornton on the one side and a line that went after the other team's best all the time. And even this morning when I was talking to him, I said, "Hey, I just saw it like 8.5 minutes." And he's, I don't know. So it may, it's a matter of getting back to maybe some of the basics and grinding it out. I mean, this is a guy that's always brought his heart on his sleeve and come to the rink and worked real hard. And so trying to get back to a role. And obviously Ron Wilson wants to make him a better player in this situation, and it's hard for players to understand that.
2-on-2, maybe a 3-on-2. Here's a quick tip shot by Martin's, got it through. And Tosco the save, and the crowd roars for a penalty call, and won't get one. Scrambly kind of play inside the San Jose end. Wycroft is in there deep in the San Jose end. Trying to get to it again and can't. And Pricing will clear down the ice. Osgood will play it. And finds Danton.
I like the confidence that St. Louis is playing, and it's a puck-patient, confident game. They're not dumping the puck in. They're keeping possession of a lot of pucks, making some good plays.
Sharks have already turned it over 10 times in their end. It is 2.
That's fatigue, and that's good hard work by St. Louis.
Oh, Mellenby was all alone in front and couldn't corral the pass. So Chuck the other way. Tries to hit Dimitra. Damphus for San Jose. Final minute of play, period number 1. It's been an upbeat, energetic first period. Barron in the corner. Worked around, and here's Tkachuk.
3-on-2
if they want it. Here's Mellenby. Drop for Pronger, let it go. And it's gloved by Tosco, and he'll hang on. Coming up on the intermission report, John Butchergrouse, Barry Melrose standing by. Barry will break down the situation with the A-Rod deal. I'm sure you'll want to hear that. Now, that'll probably be John's part. The Lightning striking in Philadelphia, and how perfect is this? A minute with Scott Mellenby, our goal scorer so far tonight. And time permitting, we'll take you to the Rangers and the Islanders. What is currently going on as well. 23 seconds left here in our first period.
What a play by Drake off the faceoff, pushing it ahead. Patrick Marleau's got to do a better job of finding out where that centerman is once that faceoff's won or lost.
Looks like the Sharks really just trying to get out of this period now. Korolev for San Jose. 3 seconds left in the period, and that will do it. Period 1 here will end with a 1-0 St. Louis lead. First period isn't over. Ready for second period action. 1-0 in favor of the Blues. St. Louis played a very, very strong first period. And if not for the standout goaltending by Vesa Toskala,
absolutely
would have a bigger lead.
Well, that's what the goaltender on the road's supposed to do. Unfortunately, it's a tough job for the guy that doesn't play all the games. Toskala played like a main horse in that first period. He weathered the storm that San Jose needed. Now they have to get some momentum here, get rid of that first period. They gave up 16 shots on goal, and they were sloppy in their own zone.
Play underway in the San Jose end. It's a 2-on-2 in the corner there as Danton looks to sneak away to the slot. Now peel off. And the Sharks able to get to it and able to clear. Just the St. Louis blue line, though, and it's picked off by Chianek there. In across the line. He'll let it fly. Blocker saved by Toskala. Rebound loose. Stopped by Toskala as well. As Danton pounded the rebound on goal. Osgood back behind the net. Trying to get it away from Chichu. And does. Up the near boards, worked out ahead to center by Dimitra, but it's Stern the other way from Marlowe. Marlowe got it across off the 2-on-1.
Oh my goodness!
And the Sharks pass instead of shoot. Scott Hannon, the defenseman, in an unfamiliar position.
Oh, that was shoot or deke. In fact, the play is go to the deke on the backhand because the goalie's momentum's going to his right. He would have been drifting off that side.
Dimitra back behind the net. There's Keith Tkachuk. And there's an injured player. Hannon is down in the corner to the right of the San Jose net.
So Hannon has a bad shift in terms of unluck, and now he's got some pain in the corner, and he's gagging right now. Imperative for the staff to get out there, and they are right now. And he was the man in the offensive zone. Then he races back to the defensive zone here. Oh, the stick blade inadvertently came up with Mellanby. Caught him right in the old throat. The way the follow through, and the stick gets up there. I don't believe there was a call being made on that, Steve.
Hannon is skating off now and wondering about that very thing.
Well, I tell you what, fortunately, and I don't know what made Mellanby do it, he let go of his stick. Unless he saw that that stick was up in a dangerous area, just let go.
Yeah.
But certainly the players, Alan McCauley is looking at the referee right now, just saying, hey, how can you not call it? Even if he doesn't mean it, he's responsible for where his stick is. And McCauley's right, and so are the Sharks. Let's hope that Hannon's okay.
Able to skate off on his own. We'll watch for his next shift.
Let's go back to the offensive shift that he had. Hannon had come into the play, and as we see right here, what a pass by Marlowe, right on the tape. Now he's looking here, but he's got a nice open lane right here. He's got the lane, the defense is falling, let it roll, guys. There he goes, he's got it, his head's down, and he's thinking pass the whole way. See the way he turned over his wrist? Oh boy, best play there because that player is driving to the net is shoot it, and worst case is there's a rebound right there.
Osgood was just coming back to his net, and he gets the quick whistle.
Well, that was a nice shot as we freeze it there and just see the play develop. See the way you pass into the open lanes, and it's great when a defenseman can jump up there. A good passing forward moves it ahead, and Hannon was in there all alone.
Looks like they're attending to the ice. Chris Osgood's crease. But while we have this opportunity, I want to send our condolences to 2 members of the NHL's family. Keith Magnuson, you probably heard about it, was killed recently in a car accident up north in Canada. Rob Ramage, a big part of the Blues family for many years, was involved in the accident. He was driving the car.
Yes, he was.
Now faces legal charges in an all too familiar setting to the NHL after what happened with Danny Heatley.
Well,
at the start of the season.
Everyone that's known Keith and the Blackhawk alumni is familiar with what a person he was and what he's done with everybody around him. He's made everybody feel like they're $1 million. Keith Magnuson is truly one of a kind. His wife Cindy and son Kevin and Molly. What a phone call they made to the Ramage family to let them know that that Keith would want it no other way other than to forgive the family and to forgive Rob. And they'll have a wake will be tomorrow in Lake Forest, and the service will be Saturday.
And that's another similarity to the Snyder family making the phone call to Danny Heatley in support of him. The difference, however, it has to be pointed out that alcohol apparently is involved in this particular accident as opposed to the Heatleys.
2 minutes, high sticking. St. Louis.
Power play to the San Jose Sharks. I see Ekman battling down below, and the stick came up. His head goes back, and that's where the referee sees it. Unfortunately, the players have to fling their head back like that, but the stick did come up. It was unintentional. Haven't had it down, and it just brought it up. And guys got to be just more careful with where those sticks are.
Havanov, the high stick at 151. There's Damphus. Back to the point. Stewart. For Damphus, top of the circle. He'll let it fly. And it looked like it kicked off the skate of Murray Barron and wide. Wrapped around. Sharks able to get to it. Here's Stewart with a lane. Elects to pass it off. Shot through traffic. Osgood was down. Chichu was there along with McCauley. And here's a break. Dallas Drake racing out. Shorthanded. Got a long distance soft shot away.
Yeah, and now he'll go for a line change because he is completely out of gas.
Sharks come back the other way. Wrapped around the boards. And kept in. Here's Chichu. Salvador over to pin him. McCauley behind his back line pass to Damphus. Thinks about it. Now lets it go. Right past St. Osgood. Rebound is loose. And he has it.
The second period this year has been the worst for the Sharks. They're -10 in goals for, goals against. But to begin this period, they had some good chances on Osgood. That's a tremendous save with the right pad on the veteran Damphus from our Southwest Airlines goal cam. It's the right pad you're watching, and then the blocker with the stick. Tremendous second effort by Osgood as he keeps the puck out from the overhead. Save, rebound, desperation, got it. He just got it with the blocker.
Here's Marlowe now. Worked back to the point. Pricing shot was blocked. Loose puck for Rathje. Ron Wilson says Rathje's playing his best hockey, at least since Wilson has taken over. This is Wilson's first full season. Came over just about the midway point of last season. Here's Rathje holding. Cross the Pricing. Lets it go through traffic, and it was tipped wide. Dimitrakos might have gotten a piece. Here's Marlowe now. Dimitrakos, side of the net. Nifty move there. Shot stopped. Osgood makes another save. 21 seconds left on the penalty. We're just talking about the Atlanta Thrashers, one of the great story teams this season so far against the Philadelphia Flyer team. Playing very well at home until recently. They'll go on the road to Atlanta. NHL tonight will follow the game. Those of you in Atlanta will see the game on ESPN2. No sign of a blackout for you folks. Here's Korolyuk now. Makes the shifty pass down low. Ricci in front. Cross from McLaren. His shot blocked by Pronger. Power play. There's 5 seconds left in it. It was deflected out of play. And the whistle stops the action.
Oh, good to see Scott Hannon back after taking the tip of the blade in the jugular, but the San Jose Sharks had their chances in the first period. Osgood, crossbar. That was Ekman. Then it was Chichu busting down the right side, right off the bar. Then short-handed, Marco Sturm went to the backhand. Osgood makes a tremendous save there.
Well, we're only 4 minutes into the second. The Blues already have 18 shots on goal. St. Louis has 5 blocks on this power play. And the penalty is over. Back to 5 aside. Icing is called. 4:04 in the period 2.
Yeah, shot blocks are everything. You've got to get your body in the shooting lanes because players are so good and everything's so structured that if you cheat a little bit or give it the old flamingo, you're going to give up a good scoring chance or you're going to hurt your leg. And so Pronger in the last one, although Pronger is 6'6", he's a fairly thin guy. And I mean, he has the potential to be 240, 250. He's only 218, but he got those shin pads right there, and McLaren couldn't get it through him.
Here's Mellenby, and it's pushed out to center. McLaren lost his edge as he got rid of it. And it goes all the way down. No icing will be called. Osgood is there directing traffic. And it's worked ahead to center. Chuck couldn't get there. He'll get a second chance, though, and there it is. Chuck gets it back to Dimitra. Tricky pass through everybody. And the Sharks look to break the other way and do. Here's Nils Ekman now, waiting for some help. And the Blues get to it off the turnover. Here's Tkachuk from Mellenby. Mellenby lets it go, was deflected. Rathje's stick got enough to deflect it.
Great stick in the lane by Mike Rathje. Great play there to defend one of the hottest tandems anyway in Dimitra and Tkachuk. In the meantime, Keith Tkachuk against Columbus on Tuesday. After Pronger shot it towards the net, everyone thought it was going to be on the net. Keith Tkachuk stopped it, and then diving in midair, fires it by the glove side of goaltender Marc Denis, who was absolutely brilliant in that 2-1 hockey game. And yet another close game won by the St. Louis Blues, Steve, in the second overtime game-winning goal by Tkachuk.
Shot, stop, rebound, wide. Primo had the opportunity and blasted it wide with a rolling puck. That's Primo again. He's bodied by Havanah. They continue to battle. Thornton is holding his stick up in the air to draw attention to what Doug Wade is doing to him. And Osgood with the right blocker just sent Thornton flying.
Thornton set that up. He'd been in his crease. He'd been in his kitchen there for a little while, and he was starting to rattle around a couple of pans. And so Osgood took exception.
He was buzzing the tower.
He definitely was. He definitely was.
Penalty is number 30, Chris Osgood. 2 minutes for interference.
Van Nassenhoven had his eye on this play the entire time because of the big body of Thornton right inside the crease. Now, see Thornton, the net actually moved a little bit. And wait, see the stick? Someone's stick, his stick was trapped in between Osgood, and then he gave him a little slash. Now watch this. Well, it's a good call by official. It wasn't very subtle by the linebacker, Chris Osgood, but I know what he was trying to do.
His Blues teammates are raving about him, Panger, about Chris Osgood. They say he's playing great and he's making the big save when we need it. And in the past, you haven't always heard that about Osgood. And they're saying that about him this year. He's had a terrific season.
How about the last 2 years comparison? At this point last year, he was 89%. Right now, he's 92% of shots stopped. Huge difference there, buddy.
He's playing physical hockey. As we saw. He's taking the body while he's stopping pucks. Power play for the Sharks. Here's Stewart now. Lets it go. Deflected.
Where is it?
Loose puck in the crease and in. And we'll see who'll get credit for it. Damphus was down and out and might have swatted it into the net. Either way, it's a 1-1 game.
Driving hard to the net, that's the key there. Damphus was there paying a price, falling backwards, almost like Mellenby. When Mellenby scored, it was off a rebound, diving towards the loose puck, doing whatever it takes to get the puck back on net. Good setup here from Damphus to Stewart. Stewart shots hard. It hits the body of the Marco Sturm, it looked like. Oh, Marleau was there. Marleau there, Damphus there, 2 sticks there. I don't think the Sharks care because they are right back in the hockey game.
Patrick Marleau, after a very difficult first month, has really come on the last 2 months.
And Scott Thornton paying the price in front of Chris Osgood, causing the havoc, causing Osgood to get a little disturbed by that and going out of his way to take a penalty.
And now Osgood pays the price by giving up the power play goal by the Sharks. We're in a 1-1 game from St. Louis. 6 minutes into period number 2.
And he had no chance on it because the shot was going wide by Stewart, and it hit Marco Sturm in the butt. Bob?
Shot to the corner. Here's Tkachuk up high. Snag. Little snatch catch by Toskala.
Well, Patrick Marleau is one of the fastest players you'll ever see. We got a bunch of them in this game here from St. Louis on Thursday night.
Turning point in the San Jose season. It's clearly October 28th. The Sharks went into Carolina, got hammered, lost 3-0. There were 6 or 7 fights in the second period. All the frustration came out. And since that point, wow, just 3 regulation losses in the last 22 games. Ron Wilson, he said he forced the team to have a players-only meeting. And the players themselves singled out Marleau and Sturm as the guys who have to carry the club. And I think those 2 players were in agreement, by the way. And it's a 2-hour meeting. The coaches only called it. They weren't present for the meeting. And ever since then, Sharks have been one of the great stories in the NHL.
Darn right they have. And they are right under the radar. And this is a team of the future there in San Jose.
Here are the Blues now, centered and through everybody. Marleau gets the goal as 12th from Stewart and Damphus. 5:47 is the time of the goal. It is a power play goal after the Osgood penalty. Here's Backman. Again, keep in mind the St. Louis Blues are without Al McInnes, without Barrett Jackman, the NHL's Rookie of the Year a season ago. They're still playing unbelievable hockey. Stewart is checked down right in front of Toskala. Leads to the turnover, the save by Toskala. And Meyers goes over Toskala, and he's got it.
Good save by Toskala, and I'm sure Ron Wilson is delighted to see that. But one of the things you have to keep in mind with this hockey club is it's not about Ron Wilson. It's not about Doug Wilson, their fine general manager. I think what Ron Wilson was saying is it's about you guys. It's about the core guys. You are the future. Teemu Solani's not here. Owen Nolan's not here. Those players are gone. It's about you. The future of this team depends on the core guys, and they want to give them some responsibility. And the sooner they learn that, I think that was really the purpose of that, the sooner you're going to be a real good hockey club in this league.
I mean, think about it. They began last season, the Sharks did, as, really cheap picks. I mean, to not only go to the Stanley Cup Finals, to win it. The atmosphere at the Shark Tank was as good as any in the NHL. And this, oh, by the way, a great broadcast spot, just as they do have here in St. Louis.
Darn right.
Sharks get to it, they'll bang it off the boards and out of the zone. I mean, but the Sharks really, they seem like they were a piece away, and they have fallen way down and now trying to pick themselves up by their hockey socks. Curling out of the corner now. Here's Chichu. He's had a strong game. He's bodied off it. Leaves that behind the net now. Sharks looking to set it. Oh. Chichu partially fanned on it, and a penalty coming up. Chichu was driving the net. I think he took Salvador down with him.
That's tremendous pressure, though, by San Jose, and you're right. Chichu is going to get called. Interference call in front of the net, and that's an offensive penalty, so he's obviously just trying to get position. He's not in agreement with this call. What a pass by Thornton, right on the tape to Chichu. Chichu is, Chichu was just following through on it. I mean, this is just my opinion, but you're allowed to run into somebody, and somebody's allowed to fall, and it doesn't mean it's always a penalty. I mean, there are times where, yes, clearly, interference, something else. He's following through, and then he's moving forward like that.
And that's a tough penalty for San Jose to take. They were really buzzing, really coming after tying the game, and now they'll try to kill it off.
The point of a player that just misses in front of the net, he's not thinking he's going to run down a player. His momentum's already going that way.
Turned over. Waite got it across. Tkachuk tried to feather it through and could not, and the Sharks break back the other way with Marco Sturm. Sturm's got a step on the backhand. McLaren was in deep. Keep in mind, San Jose's killing a penalty. Let's see if the Blues can break. Chichu interference at 8:21. And straddling it across the blue line. Offside is the call. Well, Saturday, PGA Tour stars like John Daly and Mark Kalkovecki and Peter Jenkinson, no mention of Panger here, take on teams from the LPGA and Champions Tour in a one-of-a-kind golf event. Don't miss the Wendy's 3-Tour Challenge. Coverage begins Saturday, 4 Eastern and Pacific on ABC.
We showed Ron Wilson is about a +5 handicap. He's a phenomenal, phenomenal player.
Talking about that hole-in-one today.
Oh, my. Yeah, and then he had 2.
And that's what you were hoping for,
that's
right?
That's unbelievable.
When you get the first one, the second one. With all the golf you have played, Panger,
I know.
Never in your stunning career you got lucky and got a hole-in-one?
Never. Tyler came closer to me this year. He was about a foot away.
Tyler's his son, by the way.
He's 13.
I should point that out for those of you not familiar with Darren's family tree. Here's Waite now. Back to the point. There's Pronger. Pass across came all the way through. 45 seconds left on this power play. And Waite will hold. Looks to move it across. Here's Dimitra now. Kachuk's in front of the net. Dimitra, cross ice, Waite, through everybody. Chayanek was the player on the back door.
They needed a right-hand shot over there, and that's why Waite, again, with that groin injury, maybe a little uncertain with the timing of that. He wasn't sure whether to snap it on that hard pass by Dimitra. Dimitra set everything up, Steve. He slammed his stick on the ice in the far corner. He wanted the puck. He said, give it to me. I'm going to set it up on this side of it, and he made a great pass.
Drake on the forecheck. 9 seconds left on this penalty. Drake will swing it around. Pronger will get there first. Chris Pronger's played every single game this season on the 6 Blues. Think about all first 77 games he missed the last season.
Nope.
Loose puck in front. And Pronger a little extra cross check to the back of Chi-Chu. Still tied at 1. Great to have ESPN's Thursday Night Hockey back on a regular basis. Our 2 goal scorers, Patrick Marleau and Scott Mellanby, both sporting the A's on their sweater.
They both have a different kind of game. I mean, Patrick Marleau just flies like the wind.
Mellanby's not the speed guy.
No, he kind of. No, he gets there. He plods along. He gets there, and just to think, a couple of years ago, he was thinking retirement in Florida. Remember that?
Yep, that's right.
You know, his best years are. I mean, he's had some tremendous last couple of years here in St. Louis. Tremendous.
A couple of bodies are spilled, and the Sharks pretty well set up there. And Thornton shanked and shot to the corner. Here's Thornton trying to step through traffic now, has it taken away from him, and it's cleared out. Rafji will play the body on Rycroft, and the Sharks look to break. Here's Ricci's got a step. Feathers one, didn't get through. Finley got enough to deflect it to his goaltender, and here we go.
Tell you, Thornton is a big part of the physical game for San Jose to combat everything. I mean, when you look at their lineup, you're looking at more skilled guys. Danfus and Ekman, Sturm, Marleau. You've got, you know, Thornton, Primo, and Chi-Chu are playing on the line, and Thornton's a guy around the league, is well respected. And he jumps in there. He jumps in there to help out a team, and now he's back with Mike Ricci. And Ricci had been kind of sent down there into that more of a fourth-line role. But here in this game, that's 1-1, 8.5 left. Ron Wilson throws the veteran out there, and at one point, I know he's going to get that dew cut. It's hard to see, huh? When your helmet flips over and the dew comes over the eyes. I haven't had hair over my eyes for a long time.
We actually asked Ricci about the last time he got his hair cut today, and he told us he was working on his wife's bicycle. And he said he was so annoyed it wasn't working out right this summer.
He was sour, wasn't he?
He was so sour he threw the bike down and went to the barber.
Just like that.
And we believe that was the last time he got his hair.
Say, Mike, go buy a new bike.
And I imagine there were people out there wondering, when was the last time he got his hair cut?
Yeah.
Late August, we believe. Hey, good hair if you can get it, right?
Well, it's not even stylish, to be quite honest with you.
That's not stylish?
No, that's not stylish.
That's center now. And the Sharks will move it in. The penalties, Ricci and Chianik, roughing at 11-10. We'll go 4-on-4, some of that good open ice. McCauley got the pass across. Tyson couldn't settle it down. The other way we go. Here's Dimitra, hits the brakes. Delayed penalty is coming up. And Tkachuk, who was taken down, got up and redirected it, but was not able to beat Toskala. All the way through. Havanov got to it. And Toskala the save, and now we get the penalty call. It'll be a trick.
Well, with Keith Tkachuk barreling through the neutral zone, crossing the blue line, it looked at first like it was a toe pick, and he went down, but it was not.
Number 10, White, tripping.
Alan McCauley going off for tripping. McCauley coming back inside his own zone, trying to get good position. Let's see where his stick is. Right on the thigh, right above the knee. So as Tkachuk is trying to make that crossover move, just enough of the stick to knock him off balance.
And the fans get a bit of a treat here. You rarely see 4-on-3. It's a whole lot of fun, and they'll have it for another 48 seconds. The Blues have actually scored 3 goals this season when having a 4-on-3 advantage. There's Tkachuk. Waite was in the slot. Now he'll move to the other point. Pretty good foursome the Blues can put out here. Here's Waite now. Down low, Tkachuk. Back for Waite. Has Pronger. Lets it go and scores! Chris Pronger pumps the air. 2-1 Blues.
No chance in the world for Vesa Toskala. That's a great shot. Wonderful patience with the man advantage. They set up shop. Waite with the puck. Fake shot over to Tkachuk. Tkachuk had no intention of shooting. He wanted to play it back. Get San Jose to collapse down low. Work it to the far side to the left-handed Pronger and just let it rip. Stick side, tough save for a goaltender to make. You're already going over towards your left. It goes against the grain inside the post on the stick side.
Not only is Pronger getting back his legs in terms of minutes and getting back that Norris throw, he's picking up really some offense. He had a significant goal in overtime to beat Toronto, the Air Canada Center, to end the Maple Leafs' lengthy win streak. And he's really contributing on the offense now. Pronger from Waite and Tkachuk, a power play goal, rare 4-on-3 power play goal at 12:45. 2-1 St. Louis.
I was wondering why Tkachuk was pulling out in front of the net, watching that play develop. And obviously, that's why. He pulled out so that he could send it right back up to Doug Waite.
Here's Damphus now. He's tied up. Puck to the corner. Off of Havanov. And the Blues get to it. Able to clear. Just too far for Rycroft, and it's sent back in. Osgood will settle things down. Dimitrakos on the forecheck for San Jose. Tipped out at center, knocked down by Kyle McLaren. The Sharks establish themselves inside the St. Louis blue line. Dimitrakos on it there, trying to cycle it down deeper. Osgood's out for a stroll. Able to knock it away from Ekman. Blues get to it, and they will clear. Will it go far enough for icing? No, they say at the last second, waved it off. Kevin Collins had his arm in the air till the very last second. Here's a shot, Marleau the rocket, and the save off the shoulder of Osgood. And the Sharks buzzing right back, and a line change by San Jose led to the offside. Chris Pronger has the Blues on top of the Sharks. Told you Chris Pronger's been logging minutes among defensemen. Only Sergei Gonchar and Nicholas Lidstrom average more ice time per game than Chris Pronger.
Well, Pronger's the kind of guy that he can handle 30 minutes with no problem. You're never worried about him. But after 21 games this year and only 12 points in December, he's had 8 already. So not including tonight. I can't add them all up. I think he's only got 1 point.
Yeah, that's all. Just a point tonight.
So now he's got 4 goals, 5 assists, and 9 points in 8 games in December. So I think the best offensively is yet to come. Chris Pronger's assets as a defenseman are, as he averages 27 minutes a game, is I think his passing ability. He sets up shop behind the net, and he steps up once, and he makes a pass through traffic up to the neutral zone. That's the best kind of defense you can have, is when you do that. The transition game.
You were asking how many points he has. He does only have 1, but remember, he made that great outlet pass, exactly what you're talking about, on the Mellenby goal, but 2 of his teammates touched it in between. By all rights, he should have.
There's great distribution of the puck.
Yes.
And I thought in the first period, St. Louis let the puck do the work. I haven't seen that as much in the second period. I found San Jose is doing a better job of that.
Here's Backman off for Drake. Dallas Drake shot. Saw an opening in the 5-hole. Toskala closed it up and made the save on the rebound. Here's Chichu at center now. Headman Pence. Able to hook up a Primo, looking for the tip from Thornton. He's centered. Only the Blues are there, and then nearly a deadly giveaway by Eric Nicholas of St. Louis. Nearly coughed it up right in front of his own net. Icing is called. Our Old Spice storyline looks a little something like this. Patrick Marleau really heating up, as are the Sharks. Mellenby and Pronger on the board for St. Louis.
Oh, this is good hard work here. Stewart shot, hit a body. Marleau in front. Damphus was there as well. And of course, the St. Louis Blues on the power play. Dougie Waite right over to Pronger, and he just let it rip. Tremendous execution there by the Blues. 2-1 game. Obviously, a goal scored in the first period.
Here's Barron. Gobbled up by Toskala, and he'll hang on with 4:08 left in the second.
Well, Vesa Toskala looks an awful lot like Nabokov when they're playing. Evgeny Nabokov and Toskala have the same kind of demeanor, very patient. They look the same, and a lot of credit has to go to their goaltending coach Warren Strelo, who is still in Minnesota. Kidney transplant this offseason. He's resting. I'm sure he's watching this game. Boy, what a great man Warren is, and we all wish him the best and happy holidays and get back on the pond real soon.
2-on-2 now for the Blues. That shot is wide. St. Louis trying to get to it and do something with it, and the Sharks in now. Mellenby providing some interference.
Oh!
He's cross-checked down by Hannon. Pronger on the far side, wrapped around the boards. Here's Dimitra now, checked by Hannon. Great effort by Dimitra's on his knees, still makes the play to Tkachuk. Now it's Hannon, finds Marleau. Sharks need to clear, and Marleau couldn't get it out. Stewart fortunately is there, and they cleared the center.
Marleau's lucky that Mellenby and the Blues were out of gas right there. It was a poor turnover.
Here's Danton. Got the shot, the soft shot on Tosco. It's all St. Louis right now. Except, of course, when the Sharks decide to break back the other way. Here's Ekman racing in.
Whoa!
And Osgood goes to the net. The puck does not. Nils Ekman, with speed, crashes right into Osgood and knocks the net off with Salvador behind him.
Not only does Osgood think he's got to make a great pass through the middle of the field, he's going to get drilled on the other side. What a save. Ekman is going forward, though, as he was releasing the puck. They're calling it a trip. I'm not sure if his momentum wasn't feeding him. Let's take a better look. He'd already shot the puck. He's going forward. The dive across didn't get the puck. It got the feet, and that's probably the reason for the tripping call. The goal cam's all mucked up right there when something like that happens, huh? Didn't it remind you of a wide receiver looking like he knows he's going to get drilled? Osgood knows he's got to make the save first, and you know a guy's coming at you 50 miles an hour. What am I going to do? And he still kept the puck out. That's great courage right there by Ozzy.
Yeah, you can't exactly skate away from the crease and avoid the contact at that point, can you?
Make the save, and you know, if you make the save and you can jump up in the air,
right,
then he goes underneath you. You know, Jack be nimble theory.
Was that the strategy you used?
I was thinking, well, I just hope to stop the darn puck. You know that.
Stop and then jump up in the air. It's a good idea.
Nils Ekman, he had a penalty shot earlier, and I was wondering as he was going down there, you never know what can happen before. As he tripped up before the shot, it would have been a penalty shot, but he does have experience in that department.
Back the other way. Here's Dan. Shot. Mayer scores! Jamal Mayer short-handed. And the Blues take a 3-1 lead.
Tremendous move by Jamal Mayers to freeze goaltender Vesa Toskala. Looked like he was going to shoot. Toskala's stance was patient. Fakes it, goes wide. Toskala opens up. Great speed here by Jamal Mayers. Fake, shot, and then go underneath him. And it was a good rink-wide pass to spring Jamal Mayers wide open. The special teams have taken over for the St. Louis Blues.
Now the power play, even strength and short-handed for the St. Louis Blues. 3-1 St. Louis. And Chris Pronger will pick up his second point of the game with the assist.
Assisted by Pronger. Short-handed goal at 17-26.
Sharks trying to buzz right back. And Stewart was so ready to shoot the puck, he forgot to get the pass. Penalty continues on. Power play does as well. Sticked aside by Osgood, and the Blues trying to break again, short-handed. Although Sturm did a good job getting back on Cheyenne.
The puck was bouncing a lot on that last power play set up by San Jose. It just couldn't settle down.
Mayers his third, short-handed from Pronger at 17-26. Coming up on the Southwest Airlines Intermission Report, John and Barry are standing by. The latest the baseball dealings concerning the trade or the trade being off for A-Rod. The Devils tangling with the Thrashers, and Barry's best. And in this latest installment, Barry is going to talk those who overachieve and those who underachieve. And we look forward to that.
It's always good coming from a coach's perspective. Underachieving.
Yeah, you'd much rather be on the overachieving side than the underachieving. I'm sure Barry will have a couple of barbs to fire at those who have underachieved to this point. Slapped around the boards and all the way down. Final 60 seconds left here in period number 2. Sent softly into the St. Louis end. The only goal the Sharks have is on a power play on a penalty taken by Chris Osgood. Here's Tkachuk. He'll shoot in. Mellenby a race in on Stewart and send him to the glass. Leading with the shoulder. Urged on by the officials to keep it moving, and the clock does as well. The final half minute here in the second.
Chuck has taken a page out of Brett Hull's book, getting away from the traffic and kind of wandering out into the open areas and then sliding back into traffic looking for a pass.
Tipped out to center, race for the puck, 12 seconds left. And a penalty is coming up as Demitra raced in.
No, that's a good call by the official. I got to hand it to Don Van Nassel. The fans don't like it, but the reason he made this call, because it allowed Demitra to be open. Basically, Nicholas did a smart thing, if only he could have been a little bit more discreet about it, by yanking on the San Jose Shark player.
2 minutes, obstruction, hooking.
And by doing so, it really allowed Demitra to go wide. Joel doesn't like it, but from this vantage point here, looks like Hannah's going to have, see, he pulls him up. Now it allows the lane to be open there by Demitra. So, doesn't look like much, but it's enough. It stopped Hannon, even though Hannon didn't look like he was going that fast, by the way.
A power play that will carry over into period number 3. Chris Pronger, it's his 5th multi-point game of the season. And after 2 periods, the Blues have a 3-1 lead. Pronger scored the power play goal, and then Jamal Mayers shorthanded. The Blues a 3-1 lead over the Sharks after 2 here in St. Louis.
Games, and sometimes with no pressure, down 3-1 in the opposition's building, that's a dangerous team. So St. Louis has got to be aware of that.
Now, do you believe we'll see some fatigue, if there is fatigue, after playing last night, a hard-fought loss in Detroit? Blew the lead, blew a 2-1 lead with 19 seconds left. And we'll see if some of the effects are present here in the 3rd period tonight. Power play continues and carries over from period number 2. Blues are moving around, trying to get to it, and Osgood able to make the save and hang on.
It's a good save by Osgood, but he has seen 44 play a pretty strong game in front of him. So we'll show you what Chris Pronger has done in this game anyway. This was on the 4-on-3 power play in that second period. Just let it rip. Good setup there by the Blues. And that is a power play goal. Here's his passing ability. Look one way and then go against the grain the other way. Short-handed, right on the tape to a speeding Jamal Mayers. Mayers goes in and ends up scoring a key short-handed goal to make it 3-1.
Sharks trying to get back to within a 1. Move it back to the point. Here's Brad Stewart. Moves it across to Christian Eroff. Off for Stewart. Eroff plays the other point. Good battle in front of the net. Pronger is involved with Marlowe. Real big play there. And they're able to push it out. Kept in at the point, though. Here's Stewart. His shot is blocked. We're 1 minute in, period number 3. From Savas Center in St. Louis. 2 clubs who are playing very, very strong hockey during this particular stretch. As Panger points out, the Sharks come in having gotten at least a point in 19 of 22 games. The Blues just 1 loss in their last 11. And everyone fighting for conference position. How tight is the West? Keith Tkachuk told us this morning, hey, you lose, you drop like 10 places in the West. Now that's an exaggeration, but not by that much. That's how tightly bunched the Western Conference is.
In the room with him this morning talking about last night's game, the Detroit-San Jose game, and all the Blues are sitting at home watching that game thinking, good, the Red Wings aren't going to get a sniff in this one. They're not going to get any points at all, and sure enough, they end up getting 2.
And Danton's able to clear it out to center. Power play is over. And we're back to 5-a-side. They get just 1 shot on that power play. Loose puck at center. Ricci tied up by Mellenby. Here's Demitra, works it back for Keith Tkachuk. Tkachuk moves it ahead. Kavanaugh, let it go, and Toskala the save, and he'll hang on. We mentioned how tightly bunched the Western Conference is. Here's a good look at the Central. But what all the Blues people are talking about, 3 points behind Detroit, they've played 6 fewer games.
Unbelievable.
The Red Wings have played 6 more games than the Blues have heading into tonight's action.
It's a little uncommon that it's that many. I thought Tampa Bay was having that kind of year too, where they went such a long stretch with limited games.
It is going to even out, though, in the end, right, Panger?
It pretty much all does. At the end of the day, it's going to say 82 games played and how many points you have at the very end. And one of the things that I've really been impressed with St. Louis and Joel Quenneville, I think, is their overtime philosophy. They've garnished a ton of points in overtime, in close games. They've already got 6 wins in that department. I mean, last year they went 6, 6, and 11 in overtime games. You throw 5 of those 11 as wins, they get home ice advantage over Vancouver. So now he's saying, you know what, we're going in every overtime, puck possession, good decisions, and go all out. 3 forwards, 1 defenseman, whatever it takes. We're coming out of here with 2 points.
There's 6 overtime wins that you point out in regular season, obviously. Ties the franchise record, and we're not even at Christmas yet.
So you think they got a good chance of breaking it?
I would say shatter might be a good chance of shattering. That's what I was going for, as you astutely picked up. Drake had his stick lifted from behind, and it's cleared out to center. Nicholas shoots in. Toskala leaves there for Christian Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff moves it away, try to hook up with Korolyuk, and he shoots in. Osgood and stick it aside. You mentioned St. Louis and Vancouver. They just have wars every time they play. I'd sign up for that playoff series right now again. Their regular season games have been terrific. Vancouver's just a fun team to watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They do everything.
Darn right they do. And they could win the Stanley Cup, and no one in the hockey world would be surprised.
Here's Tkachuk. And a penalty coming up. Marleau put Tkachuk in there. Penalty coming up. And now we'll see if the Blues do themselves a favor by coming to the defense of Tkachuk. Marleau's played a spirited game tonight.
Well, he has. He's, you know, he's competing. I mean, I think that's the one thing you ask for your players, no matter what the score. It's a boarding call on Patrick Marleau. Tkachuk in the far corner to the right of Vesa Toskala. And these are difficult calls to make, and it happens so fast, it's difficult for the players. So let's keep it 12. Push, push. You know, I don't think you need to do, I mean, you just angle them off. That's my opinion anyway. You angle them off. Instead, it's a push, you know?
Well, that's the referee's opinion as well. That's why they call it boarding. 3:56, and the Blues will go to the power play. Get the sense a Blues power play goal might put this baby away.
Don't you think, though, that, I mean, Tkachuk is already facing the board. He's already going into the boards, you know, which is ill-advised to begin with. I mean, facing the boards isn't exactly a smart play anyway. Yeah. But then, you know, if you nudge him, he's already on his toes. He's going to go down, and then he's got the boards there to deal with it.
Here's Drake. Rockets one save. Toskala the rebound just wide. I saw you were having his Rafchi puts his man down. You had a lengthy conversation with Al McInnes
about that same thing.
Which I'd love to hear about in terms of, I don't know if he spoke about it because I understand he's not talking about it to the media, but you get special privileges for us because you're a Panger. But you were talking about the push check, and he was as violently against it as you are, Panger.
Yeah, he was. He talking about old-time hockey where your arms are down. He'd like to see everything called unless your arms are by your side. Anything extended like that would be a call of some sort. In fact, he went as far as to say a major penalty, a game misconduct, because players don't expect a push. They expect a shoulder-to-shoulder. And that's become a very dangerous part of the game, unfortunately.
So while you were talking, did you sneak in any questions about how he's doing with the eye?
Yeah, we did talk about the eye. It's obviously... It's progressing, but until he gets that lens on that left side, the left eye again, right now there's limited vision in that left eye.
Hope to see Al McInnes back just as
like always. One of the great guys, you bet.
One of the greatest players in the game.
Darn right.
History. Flyers and Thrashers are coming up Sunday night on ESPN2. Should be a dandy matchup. The Thrashers are for real, Banger.
Yep.
We know the Flyers are. That's Sunday night. The game will be followed by NHL tonight. Those of you in Atlanta, no blackout for you folks. You'll get the action on ESPN2.
Only concern I have with Atlanta is Pasi Nurminen's been outstanding. Fatigue-wise, kid works his tail off. I mean, I wonder if they're not a team that's going to be in the hunt or just given a phone call about Cujo. You never know. I mean, it could be subsidized. You could work out some things.
Byron Defoe's been getting a lot of work lately, although he was not particularly good the other night. And
lit up by the Capitals. Danton in the corner. He's checked. Danton again. He's shoved off the play by McLaren, who did a good job to reverse the flow with the puck. And the Sharks get to it. Glanced off the sideboards. Look to come to center. Try to hit Sturm with some speed. Instead, it's Ryan Johnson knocking it the other way. And speaking of speed is Urhoff and across the line. Urhoff's effort is thwarted, and they go bounce it back out the center. And McLaren for the Sharks. Off to Urhoff. At times, San Jose has gone with 3 rookie defensemen in the lineup tonight. Rob Davison is a scratch. He was one of the more pleasant surprises coming out of training camp. Todd Harvey is the other scratch tonight for San Jose.
And they still have Jim Fahey on in the minors, and he's also a good hockey player as well. And Todd Harvey, by the way, is on the bench. He's getting some experience behind the bench.
And maybe one extra deke at the blue line.
Well, Chris Pronger was an MVP. Who was the other St. Louis Blue that won that great award? It was the 3rd highest goal scorer in the history of the National Hockey League, the Golden Brett, 1990-91. And goaltender Mike Liut was a runner-up to Gretzky in 1980-81. Let's take a look back at Brett Hull and some of his exploits here as a member of the St. Louis Blues. And boy, was he outstanding. Quick shot. How many times have we seen that type of shot through traffic? Here's a one-timer. No helmet on. Love that. High over the shoulder. What a shot that was there from the high slot. Unfortunately, in my brief career, I saw way too many of those from Brett Hull. Way too many.
The difference is, of course, while you're not stopping pucks anymore, Brett Hull is still scoring.
Yeah,
he's 4th in scoring in the NHL right now, not goals, points.
He's thinking if I'm still playing,
he's first.
Well, he's past Gordie Howe by now. He's beyond 801. That's what he's thinking.
Brett Hull is 4th in scoring right now, league-wide, behind Datsuk, Lang, and Naslin. With Kovalchuk 5th right now.
Pavel Datsuk has been the best player in the National Hockey League for the past month. Nobody near him.
NHL Tonight last night did a 10 best. Datsuk probably could have come up with 20 if they wanted to. Nicholas' shot was deflected by Hannon, and Toskala decides to hang on to it and lets it drop to the defense.
And a quick line change there by St. Louis allows San Jose's Koryuk to speed up through the neutral zone, but a turnover in the middle of the ice.
Blues get to it. It was like Toskala wanted to play, and Tkachuk cut him off. Here's Danfus the other way. Vincent Danfus just 20 goals this season. Got off to a horrendous start offensively, but he contributes in so many ways. It's not all about the goals with him. There he was in front, knocked it down, but the rebound was slapped to the corner. Here's Koryuk now.
Little hook there.
Penalty coming up. Mellenby is frustrated, shows his displeasure, and as he skates to the box, we send it back to John.
Who is your goal-scoring leader among defensemen, Steve Levy? That would be Sheldon Surrey of Montreal. A hat trick tonight. Here's the overtime winner. He now has 11 goals. That's more than Lidstrom and Blake combined.
That is the comeback, or underrated, or I don't know what to rank Sheldon Surrey, but what a tremendous story he has been for Montreal.
Well, I'm glad John gave me that answer too, because if he would have put me on the spot, I'm not sure I would have gotten it.
I would never have come up with Sheldon Surrey.
Might have gone Gonchar there, Lidstrom, the usual candidates, not Sheldon Surrey. Osgood another stop. He'll hang on. Mellenby picks up the hooking at 8:42, and San Jose on their 6th power play. So it's Ben's handwriting. It could have been 1 through 7.
Yeah.
But if he takes his eyes off the shots on goal clock, we're in big trouble.
Well, I tell you, there's still enough time here. The game right now is slowed down a little bit, but momentum can change in a hurry. Power play for San Jose, 4th best on the road against the #1 PK at home. But all it takes is 1 goal. Now it's a 3-2 game. That puts the home team a little bit on their heels. And momentum can change quickly.
And across the line. Here's Sturm with speed now. He goes back to the point. Ehrhoff, cross for Stewart. Try to go back door, and it's knocked away and cleared.
That was so late developing. It was there. The seam was open. He double clutched, and then he went to the same area. But a good penalty killing unit put the stick right in the lane, and that's exactly what happened. The play is entirely broken up.
Marlowe, tough pass for Korolyuk to handle. Tries to squeeze it by Barron and couldn't. And it's clear down the length of the ice. Coming up on the midway point, period number 3. The Blues have scored even strength, power play, and shorthanded. Have a 3-1 lead over the Sharks. This was a 1-1 game. The only San Jose goal is via the power play, and thanks to a Chris Osgood penalty. Whatever it holds up this way, he'll be blaming himself for not having the shutout.
All he does is win, huh? All he does is win.
Among active goaltenders in the NHL right now, only Martin Brodeur has a better winning percentage than Chris Osgood.
And I was talking to Brent Johnson, the backup goaltender for tonight's game for St. Louis, about Ozzy today, and he said, tight. Everything is tight. His arms are tight, his body movement, everything is very efficient. There's no open spots. And confidence-wise, I mean, Chris Osgood is playing as confidently as he has played. And, you know, you have to think that over the years, playing in Detroit, being highly criticized like every goalie is there in Detroit, the skin that you grow, the extra layer that you have, boy, does that help you as it goes on. I mean, he's as time-tested and as resilient as we've found.
As one penalty comes to an end, another will be called. We'll sort it out when we come back. Serving as the backdrop, we welcome you inside Savas Center here in St. Louis. They're all fired up about their Rams, certainly about the way their Blues have played. They have yet to lose here in the month of December. We have, this is another rarity, as Ben points out, matching tripping minors. You don't often see matching tripping minors. Osgood, the pad save. He's got it with the right pad, clearly. Korolyuk and Backman go for tripping. And that's your matching tripping calls. Hey, tune in tomorrow night. It's an NBA doubleheader on ESPN at 7:30 Eastern. All starts with Kia NBA shoot-around. Then Ben Wallace and the Pistons against Jermaine O'Neal and the Pacers. And in the nightcap at 10:30 Eastern, the Spurs and the Sonics. NBA Fridays here on ESPN. That's tomorrow night. What a great doubleheader for you. Coming up on 8:40 to play here in the third. And the Sharks need to crank up something offensively and soon. Here's Chianik, able to drop it off for Doug Waite. Waiting across the line, and again, they're offside at that San Jose blue line.
Well, Doug Waite was questionable coming into tonight's game with that groin injury. During the warm-up, Steve, we were sitting by the Zamboni entrance at ice level, and he didn't last the entire warm-up. So one of two things: you retweak the groin, or you feel good enough to tell everybody, I'm going to play. And clearly, the St. Louis Blues have got maximum performances out of a lot of guys. The bottom 6 guys. They brought up Steve Martins. They sat Jeff Harima as a healthy scratch, but their top 6 forwards are matching up no matter whether they use Rycroft or Nicholas on the right side with Drake and Waite. It's been a pretty phenomenal group, interchangeable group as well in that top 6.
Osgood just turned it over to Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff tried to hook up with Sturm and could not, and Tkachuk will glove it down. Marlowe coming in his direction, and even with the man coming at him, got it off to Dimitra. Tkachuk hits the brakes, nearly onside, would have been onside, except Marlowe breaks back the other way. Marlowe for Ehrhoff, who's starting to play a bigger role here in the third period now. McLaren, the rocket shot went just wide. Pronger, the outlet pass ahead. Here's Dimitra now. His own drop pass for Tkachuk. Nifty move, and Tkachuk tried to center for Pronger, and it went too far.
Tkachuk's watching a little Datsuk. You know that?
That's not supposed to be his game, is it?
Dipsy doodling, toe dragging, and then going to the backhand, blind pass.
Here's Waite now. Shot through everything. I mean, the Blues have a tremendous mix of guys who can do everything. Waite fires. They've got finesse guys. They've got tough guys. They play it hard in all 3 zones.
I just love the way that Tkachuk is handling the puck, though.
Yep, I agree.
He's not chopping it up. He's making plays and seeing the ice, and he's been just a tremendous hockey player this year.
Here's Nicholas off the steal from McLaren now. Where Drake couldn't get the shot away. Sports Center is coming up just as soon as we are through. Stuart Scott and Kevin Frazier standing by. They'll bring you that highly rated sports cable show on the Sports Center. Surprised they're in the building, actually. The ESPN holiday party is tonight, Cameron.
Yep.
So you can pretty much just say about anything you want about any of your bosses, chances are.
No, that's the time where the TV gets turned on.
Osgood will hang on. You ever lose your driver's license, folks? You know how hard it is to get your license back? How about trying to lose your last name? Mike Danton tried to do just that. Had some personal issues trying to separate from his own family and wanted to go about getting a new name. He was at a hockey school. One of his favorite students was named Danton. Danton was his first name. And that's the name Mike has chosen for himself. He said it in the process of legally changing your name, everything concerned, takes about a year and a half. Had a falling out with his family. Doesn't speak to any of his family members anymore.
That's unbelievable.
He's had 2 well-publicized falling outs. The others with Lou Lamoriello in New Jersey, of course.
I never thought that he'd come back in the NHL, to be honest with you. Yeah. I thought it was highly unlikely that a team would take a flyer on Mike Danton.
It was so public in New Jersey. Many players have had gripes about Lou Lamoriello, but not many of them got public. And oh, by the way, all the Devils do is win Stanley Cups. But Danton's famous quote of, "I'm not drinking any more Lou's Kool-Aid."
Yeah.
And he said, in respect, though, he said, you know, they could have sent him anywhere. They sent him to St. Louis in a great, great position here. He's fit in very well. He's very popular among his teammates. And Joel Quenneville was almost gushing about what Danton means to the Blues now.
My concern was, well, what happens if Joel Quenneville and Larry Plow decide, hey, Mike, you know what? It's not working here, and you got to go back down. Is he going to do the same thing? That's the biggest test. It hasn't happened.
And it hasn't happened because of how well he's played, but you're right. Let's see the first bump or 2 on the road here in St. Louis and see how he reacts. You'd like to think he learned from his lesson there. Icing is called. The Sharks trailing by 2 with 5:20 to play. 28, for which game you want to see on January the 12th. And we have already mentioned that we might be slightly partial to Boston. Not that the other 2 cities aren't fine cities, including here in St. Louis and in Philadelphia, but the historical perspective of that night in Boston, they will retire Cam Neely's number to the rafters at the Fleet Center.
Yeah, I wonder how the voting's going right now.
See, we had nearly 9,000 votes already, and we will tally it up and see how it shakes out. Again, the voting won't come to an end, though, until December the 28th. You, the fan, get to choose which hockey game you want to see on ESPN2. Right now, we're very glad you decided you want to see the Blues and the Sharks. Final 5 minutes of play here in the third. Here's Tkachuk, rocket shot off the glass, and the rebound in! It's Mellanby, his second goal of the night, and he makes it 4-1 St. Louis.
It was a good setup to begin with, although they weren't rewarded with it right away. Tkachuk had the big one-timer. Dimitra working hard. There's the one-timer. It flung off the blade and then came aggressively off the boards, right to Mellanby in the scoring area. Toskala's expecting this puck behind it. It jumps out like a racquetball. And right on the tape, Mellanby's there, knows he's going to pay the price, and slides it between the legs of Bess and Toskala.
For Scott Mellanby, it's his 4th goal of the season, 2nd tonight, 329th of his career from Dimitra and Tkachuk at 15:24.
Well, from our Southwest Airlines goal cam, you'll get a better idea. Goaltender moves out. Here's the one-timer from Tkachuk. Now he's going to go back to the post where it's not behind the net. It's not even near the post. It came right back out another foot. Our Southwest Airlines goal cam shows it to you. It also showed a little extra roll over there by Mellanby on top of the goaltender, but that was after the Shark gave him a little nudge on top. Toskala had no chance on that. Toskala's played a good game. I don't think he's deserved the 4 goals against him.
Especially early on, he really kept the Sharks in this game. We pointed out earlier, the schedule maker not doing San Jose any favor. Put you in Detroit one night and in St. Louis another night. We get back-to-back. Everybody plays back-to-back games on the road. That's not the issue. But the 2 quality teams, to play those 2 teams back-to-back, that's a tough task. That shot through traffic. Osgood somehow saw it and made the save, and players come together.
Well, if anything else, if you happen to be losing the game, especially when you're playing against a rival, you've got to send a mark and make sure that you're not going away easy. And for San Jose, it's one of these situations, battle in front of the net. Now it's 4-1. At 3-1, you really got an opportunity. I mean, one goal can change the momentum. That last one there is certainly one that sucks a lot of life out of you, especially after playing the night before, getting in here about 1:30 in the morning and having a hard-fought loss in Detroit.
Wrapped around and out. Banger, I think Scott Mellenby kind of likes it when we're in the building.
He does score a lot, doesn't he?
4 power play goals
Yeah.
in the game last March here in St. Louis. It was his first hat trick of his career. Here he's had a 2-goal game. Hadn't scored in 11 games coming into this one, and he's got a pair. Here's Danton now from the angle. And the shot. Toskala got it with the right skate. Look, there was some room on the far side, too. Shot. Rycroft let it go. Another save by Toskala.
Boy, do I like the way Toskala plays.
Remains
Kind of
focused.
a little bit more old-fashioned.
Gary, thank you. I want to welcome those who've been watching the Rangers and Islanders. That always great battle. One of the great rivalries in all of sports. The Rangers a 4-3 winner tonight on home ice against the Islanders. Here in St. Louis, coming up on 2.5 to play in regulation. And the Blues, thanks to a pair of goals by Scott Mellenby, have a 4-1 lead over the Sharks. This was a 1-1 hockey game. And St. Louis has scored 3 unanswered. The Blues scoring on the power play at even strength and shorthanded. Jamal Mayers had a shorthanded goal earlier. Length of the ice. Hannon racing for the puck. Icing is called.
Well, the special teams have been the difference for the St. Louis Blues, and so has Scott Mellenby's offensive prowess. As we take a look at the goals being scored. This one on a rebound to open up the scoring. Mellenby driving hard to the net. On a 4-on-3 power play, it's Pronger's one-timer that goes in. And here's what I'm talking about. While shorthanded, Jamal Mayers breaks in off a good pass from Pronger. And then Mellenby just moments ago to make it a 4-1 game off the rebound. Keith Tkachuk with the one-timer. That line back together and flying.
Thornton, the turnaround shot. Osgood the save. He's out of position. Loose puck. Side of the net. And it dribbles just wide. Back behind the net. Here's Thornton now. Gets it back to Hannon. Loads it up. Shot is blocked. And Hannon was belted as he released the shot. Hannon's had a tough night. Lots of punishment. Toskala is leaving for an extra attacker. How do you like that, Panger? Down 3, a minute 46 to play. Why not?
It sends a great message from Ron Wilson, the head coach of the San Jose Sharks. It says, we're not coming out of here without a fight. If it means we score 1 and make it 4-2, that's great, but we're not quitting.
Especially now, Mayers is in the penalty box.
Now he's
Toskala.
So he'll pull.
Advantage.
He'll take out Toskala. There is 2 timeouts available, 1 for each team. And it looks like Ron Wilson, he might be waiting here and then make the call. That's a possibility. No, he's going to let it go.
Mayers the high stick at 18-14. 7th power play of the game for San Jose.
One thing to keep in mind in this game, with San Jose playing last night, every time they've had some momentum and opportunities to score, Osgood's been there. He's been tremendous there for the St. Louis Blues.
Dimitrokos tried to get it across to Sturm, who was wide open, but he couldn't get it there in time. Here's Stewart.
And
what I don't understand is they were sending Toskala off before the penalty. Maybe it was for the delayed penalty, and they weren't pulling the goal.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
Because otherwise, why not have pulled him by now as well? With the man
I thought, too, with the peripheral vision that he was going there prior to that arm going up.
Here are the Sharks now. They're offside at the St. Louis blue line.
Well, if you're just joining us, Chris Osgood has been tremendous, and he's been this way all year long. The one-time New York Islander and Detroit Red Wing. In the second period, it was Ekman that had the great chance. Then there in the second period, a wonderful glove save. Marco Sturm breaking in from the right side, protecting the puck, bringing it back to his forehand. An example of a bunch of the 27 shots that he's faced in this hockey game.
They said, some of the Blues said Osgood making the key save at the right time and has become a real leader as well. Loose puck in front. And Osgood, the benefit of the quick whistle. 46.4 seconds left. SportsCenter is coming up next. So stick around for that.
Ozzy's trying to fix up that belly pad. He's one of the rare guys, too, that still wears the helmet cage combination in goal. And you're seeing a fairly dejected San Jose Shark club.
Again, the Sharks just 19 seconds away from a win in Detroit last night, only to lose in overtime. Optional skate today, and nearly all of the San Jose players were there. That tells you something about this team. Here are the Sharks now, trying to make that score a little bit more respectable for the box score tomorrow. Side of the net. Danfus banging away at it. Loose puck. Centered in front. Here's a chance, and McCauley scores. Alan McCauley has made it a 2-goal game with 14.5 seconds left.
Well, the euphoria of scoring was quickly taken away by McCauley, realizing there's only 14 seconds left. He put the arms up to look excited and then dropped them right away, knowing full well it's a 4-2 game and it's out of reach. But, again, there's no quit there at the end. Their power play has let them down in this hockey game. The movement, although they've scored one power play goal, they've had a chance to get back into it, and they gave up the shorthanded goal. Here they move the puck down low to Danfus. It ends up going right back to McCauley in front. He flips it over Osgood and beyond the St. Louis Blues. But I think one thing that's been lacking from San Jose in this power play, the power plays this game have been their point.
Here's Mellanby thinking about the hat trick, and Toskala the glove save. Mellanby was absolutely thinking about the hat with 8 seconds left.
Tremendous game by the veteran Mellanby, intercepted, a little smile on his face as he goes in right off the face-off. Little regroup there. The Sharks trying to go D to D, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. Even on the power play, the puck movement from the D hasn't been that sharp.
McLaren gloves it down, wraps it around, and that will do it. The St. Louis Blues remain unbeaten here in the month of December. Only the 4th time in the last 23 games that the Sharks will play a game without getting at least a point.
Because this is the BNet game, they did an interview in New York, the Islanders from SportsCenter News.
There's your final score. Scott Mellanby nearly had the hat trick. The Blues double up the Sharks behind the goaltending of Chris Osgood, 4-2. Tune in on Sunday night, ESPN2, the Flyers and Thrashers. Those of you in Atlanta, you'll get to see that game. No blackout for you. Tonight's game has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. For Darren Pang and our entire crew, this is Steve Levy. Thanks for watching, everybody. SportsCenter is coming up next. But first, back to John and Barry for some final thoughts. Good night from St. Louis.